Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for today's plan with me. This week I'm using a kit from Miss Meow. This is a very old format kit, and I believe the kit is called Honey. I was just showing there that I also, basically I've been trying to, where these older kits don't come with a lot of florals, I'd had the idea to kind of scan in the copy of the florals that does come with it, or if there's any little florals that come with it. Because I am finding it really hard to find any matching flowers. So these older kits used to come with this adorable little freebie that had maybe 6 or 7 floral deco pieces and some other deco pieces on there. So I've just been putting that on my scanner, scanning it in, and basically just resizing them a bit, and then printing off a sheet that kind of match those florals. I've done that for a few kits. The only problem is, obviously these sticker shops have the most incredible saturated colour printers that are really high quality, and of course mine is just an at-home personal use printer, so the quality of the saturation of the colour is very different. So unfortunately the florals that I printed are a lot less, excuse me, are a lot less vibrant. I'll just have a swig of water. And that is, whilst I'm planning, that is a bit annoying. When I look at the page overall, it doesn't look offensively different, but you can see the difference in quality of the ones that are on that tiny little sheet and then the ones that I've printed myself. And that's fine. So I feel like my voice is a bit hoarse. I've not been very well. I feel like it's the same old every voiceover at the moment. I've not been super well the last few days, and it's all, my sleep's been bad, my fatigue has been really bad, which feels kind of ironic. I saw a friend on the weekend who had a cold, and I'm suspecting that maybe I've picked up something there, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So I've been scanning them in and printing them, but the quality isn't quite the same, so I have to be careful how I spread them throughout the spread. But it is handy to kind of be able to resize them a bit, because the ones that come on the sample sheets or the freebie sheets are very not very small, but they're quite small. So if I want kind of bigger florals to cover a bit more of the page, I do need to redo those. But so I was originally taking a photo of the sheet and then sending myself that photograph and sort of cutting it out on the computer, cutting around each one. But actually the one of the big difference makers was definitely scanning them in. So if you're in a similar predicament and you're using older kits and you want to be able to create your own florals, scan them in. Don't take a photograph, because it's a lot better quality scanning them in. In terms of trying to find florals, you'll see in future plan with me's, I like to plan ahead, so I've got all of my kits, and I like to make sure I have the florals alongside with them. So people who've kindly destashed to me that I've purchased old kits off of, I have kind of gone on a bit of a hunt to try and find florals that will match. So for example, there's an old Crafts by Towie kit called Stay a While, and incredibly, honestly, by some miracle, Paper Crown Planner does a kit called, I believe it's called Winter Home, and the florals for that kit are an exact match. That's, I think, the first time that's happened. So I've been able to find ways around stuff. So in an old Sadies stickers kit, for example, I can't think of the name of that off the top of my head. I want to say it's called Sunshine. No, it's not. It's an Alyssa Craft Shop kit called Lemon, I think. And basically it came with no florals. And I had a scroll through Paper Crown Planner because her florals are amazing in her shop. The volume of them that you get in a floral deco purchase for I think it's $2.50, so about £1.70-ish, is brilliant. So the Lake Como kit florals worked perfectly with that as well. So just being able to kind of mishmash things together is helpful, but this was one of those kits where the florals are so vibrant and so specific that would have been a nightmare to try and track down the specific florals to go with it. I mean, Etsy sometimes can come in clutch. There's another Cross by Towie kit that I have had to scroll Etsy because there isn't quite the right shade of purple on Paper Crown Planner, but it took me ages. I must have gone through 15 different floral sheets, constantly holding up the kit to the page, to the computer screen, just trying to find that right colour match. And I got pretty close. It's fine. And then one of them I needed specifically eucalyptus leaves. And I just sort of had to buy a clip art set and then size those down to the size of florals that I usually use and kind of piece them together, which I've never done before, but that kit won't be used until kind of autumn, winter. But like I say, it was in my head that I had this kit with no florals. I like to know that I've got everything kind of ready to go. So that's why I'm kind of planning ahead each time I get a kit. It's like, oh, do I need the florals? Okay, let's go and seek out those florals. Yeah, so that's what I did for this kit. Scanned them in, cropped around them, edited them, resized them to a mix of different sizes. I made some small ones and I didn't show it here, but I also made some really, really big ones that you will see throughout the spread. And it's just quite a good way around it because I do struggle without a reasonable amount of floral deco. So sorry, in terms of the actual spread itself, if I can get myself back on track, I went really simple with the date covers this time. I cut up some Sadies stickers, I think they were quarter boxes. I just took the lace trim off them and just popped them at the top. I wanted really simple because it was such a bright, vibrant kit. I didn't want to go over the top in the date cover section. And then I used my favourite Miss and Meow dividers just to kind of cap off the bottom of them. The May script is from Sadie Stickers. The sidebar, I just used a bit of old honey inked deco. I said in my last plan with me, I've been wanting to use more and more of my older clear deco, even though it's not on transparent paper. I really want to start using it more, and I think that worked really nicely in the sidebar. And I just love this kit. I wanted to use as many boxes as possible, so I did end up using 2 boxes in the sidebar. The only complaint I have is that I feel like there's something missing in the top left. I need to add something foil where that B is. I feel like there's just a bit too much blank space up there, but it's fine, it is what it is. Because it's such a vibrant kit, I did want to pull in some fancy boxes from my collection that were just on white paper, just to kind of break up the intense colour scheme. I desperately tried to use the yellow scalloped box anywhere in the spread and I just couldn't. It was just too much. It was too much yellow, it was too much intensity. So one of the scallop circles didn't get used. I've always loved those, and I remember being really devastated when she changed her format to the lace boxes, which are still beautiful, don't get me wrong, but these scallop circles felt like a real staple of her shop, and you used to be able to buy the foil versions from her, which I've run out of now. I did use them up completely, probably about 6 months ago now. Sorry, my voice is just throwing me off this morning. Yeah, so I did use as many of those as I could, and I did layer them with some Panther Design bits and pieces just to kind of foil them up. And I am trying to show when I'm using a certain sheet of stickers on camera, just so that you can see at least the shop name if you want to kind of go and have a look yourself, because even if they're not selling the same stuff that I purchased 5 years ago, some of it is very similar, and I'm trying so hard to find a shop that sells the delicate things. And what I'm finding now is that where shops like Sadie Stickers, for example, are moving more in a journaling direction, a lot of their boxes and functional pieces are very big, and I just want the kind of delicate, almost quarter box size midi boxes, just that are a bit more dainty and delicate. And I found a couple that might work on Etsy, but I'm not in a place financially to take those risks at the moment, so I'm just sticking with what I know. And I was looking at potentially this year, the Sadie Stickers advent calendar last year for the sticker kit style of planning was amazing. It's silly to say I regret not purchasing something because, you know, it's a real like first world problem, but I really regretted missing out on that, because I would have used everything, the Polaroids, the icons, the washi, the kits, the she did like foil sheets full of different accents. She did all very seasonal based. I mean, it was just a phenomenal advent calendar. So if she does a similar thing this year of doing weekly kits and a separate one for journaling, I will absolutely be purchasing the weekly kit one, because if it's anything close to last year, it will be worth every penny. And I think they tend to release them around July, August, as in like the pre-order tends to be quite early in the year. So I am sort of gearing up to be as financially prepared for that purchase as I can be, because I'm not going to want to miss out on that. And I just have to hope that the functional elements of that are as incredible as they looked last year. So that's what I'm kind of noticing at the moment, is I'm struggling to find somewhere like Paper Muse Crafts used to do really awesome box shapes and styles. Alyssa Craft Shop used to do them. Cross by Towie obviously was like one of my top. And Panda Bird Design does the most incredible boxes, don't get me wrong, and I do place fairly regular orders from Jess's shop. But it's just the simple ones is what I'm finding is missing personally. So in terms of, it was already Friday and I haven't gone into the plans tool this week. Not a very exciting week. I did use one of my favourite Panda Bird Design stickers on Tuesday of Wendy's gorgeous little face in foil. She's kindly going to send me some more of those, because I use them really sparingly, because they're really special stickers to me. So it's got to be a moment where it really feels like it would fit, and this kit was a moment where it felt like it would really fit, and it did. I absolutely adore those stickers. Not a very exciting week, just kind of work. Lou was away, and then I just planned the usual stuff, lots of bubble baths, painting nails, recorded my voiceover, and then on the Saturday I've just realised I didn't actually write anything there. I just put the printer there. That's hilarious. I print and cut on Saturday morning. Like I spent my whole morning. That was when I was obsessing over finding the right florals and printing them. What I'm finding is with Paper Crown Planner, I've bought quite a few sticker kits planning ahead 2 weeks that I know that I want to use them for, and then I forget that I have them. So I'm doing this classic, I'm going through and then I'm like, I've already bought that one, which is crazy to me. But I think I have this, because so many sticker shops, it feels like, have closed recently. I have this fear that all of a sudden she's going to close one day and I'm not going to be able to buy all the kits that I want to buy. So I've been sort of subconsciously stocking up, I think, on the kits that I absolutely don't want to miss out on. And then this evening it was Eurovision. I haven't watched Eurovision. Well, that's not true. We watch it every year. One of our friends comes over, and the last couple of years have been quite dark, and some of the performances have almost felt quite satanic, and it's not been as enjoyable. I want the kind of silly, stupid, flamboyant Eurovision of years past, and this year it felt like there were a few entries, so we put it on in the background, but we pretty much played Call of Duty the whole evening while it was on, and our family just kept us updated on the ones to watch if we wanted to go back and kind of see the fun ones. So I marked it just because we did kind of have it on in the background, but I still don't know who won. Actually, I didn't actually look at who won. My favourite part is watching them give all the points, watching them announce all the points, because what people will do with their 30 seconds of fame is quite amusing. And then on Sunday I saw my two best friends. We just had a picnic in one of their gardens. It was amazing. I was only planning to go for a couple of hours because I was exhausted, but we must have spent about 4.5 hours together, and it was so good for the soul. I needed it so badly. They are the most wonderful people. No judgment. You can say anything as crazy as you like, and there will be no judgment, and it's just such special quality time. And then, of course, as I seem to do once a month at this point, I rewatched Anyone But You and just played some Call of Duty. I did realise that the whole plan with me, I hadn't put my date covers on the right-hand side, so I did just amend that at the end. How gorgeous is this foil wiggle? It's so beautiful. There's so much dainty foil. I'm trying so hard to use more and more of it. But yeah, that's how this spread came out. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me, and I'll see you in the next one.